Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different surprises as well as revelations in this film that will all lead to saga-wide implications on the entire Skywalker saga by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie really is going to include a lot of prequel and original trilogy connections that's really going to be used in a way in order to benefit many of the sequel trilogy-based characters like Kylo Ren and Rey for a big example there. Now these past couple of weeks or so we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of a rear shot of Kylo Ren, where it's described that he is standing in an elevator that is traveling down to the bottom of his First Order Ravager ship, into a location where Kylo Ren keeps many of his belongings inside of his chambers. The next describes Kylo walking into a large room that appears to be his personal vault, full of Jedi and Sith relics that he has collected over the years. The next describes Kylo opening a drawer where it's revealed that he holds the very weapon that defeated his grandfather. It's said to be the lightsaber of Obi-Wan Kenobi, that Kylo Ren somehow got a hold of throughout the years, as dialogue of Kenobi from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, that is said to be faint with an echo effect that is planned to be added in during post-production. The saber appears to be in perfect shape, where as the voices of Kenobi begin to fade, Kylo puts it back in and locks it away, to turn towards relics of Darth Vader on a shelf within Kylo's personal vault. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and as to why this really surprises me. Now, we do know that this movie really is going to have a lot of connections between many of the sequel trilogy and the original trilogy characters alike, as well as the prequel trilogy characters. Now, this by far is probably one of the big parallels to that of the EU. You guys may recall that in the expanded universe, it was Darth Vader who collected Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber. Now, to this very day, as far as I know in the Disney canon, this is actually not explained as to whatever happened to Kenobi's lightsaber. Does Darth Vader own it? Does he not own it? Did somebody else take it? We're not quite sure. In the EU, Darth Vader took it immediately after he defeated Obi-Wan Kenobi on board of the Death Star 1. So in Episode 9, it's now established that Kylo Ren actually owns the Kenobi lightsaber, and once he holds it, he begins to hear faint voices of Obi-Wan Kenobi's voice from the past that is said to be dialogue from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And it's also said that during post-production, the voices of Kenobi from Episode 3 are planned to be done with a lot of echo effects in order to really make it a dramatic moment for Kylo Ren. So this connection between both Kenobi and Kylo Ren, I really think is probably, really reaching to the top of the list here for Kylo, having a connection to a character from the past. Now, like I've said before, we do know that there are going to be a lot of relics of Darth Vader in this film, and that Darth Vader is going to be used as a figurative ghost in a sense by J.J. Abrams in order to really make him a prominent figure in Episode 9 that's going to serve as, I guess you could say, inspiration for Kylo Ren to keep moving forward and to keep fully embracing the dark side of the Force. So, in a strange way, Kylo Ren is literally witnessing the very weapon that destroyed his own grandfather, that defeated his own grandfather on Mustafar. It's almost like a reminder of Kylo Ren to not be defeated by Rey, from what it seems. Now, does this necessarily mean that this lightsaber could very well eventually fall into the hands of Rey, if she does end up being related to Obi-Wan Kenobi, as many of the hints and indicators have actually added up to that being the actual case in this film? So with that being said, it really does bring one to question, how in the world did Kylo Ren get his hands on Kenobi's lightsaber? Well, I don't know if I'm just imagining things, but in The Force Awakens, when you do see Kenobi, or should I say Kylo Ren, and the Knights of Ren in the rain, in that Force-back vision, it almost appears as if he is holding Kenobi's lightsaber in his left hand. Now, again, like I say, I could just be imagining things there, but if you look very closely, it looks like he's holding something. So that could very well explain that moment in The Force Awakens for sure. But I digress. What's really interesting about this also is how J.J. Abrams really is paying attention to the EU and is using that as inspiration. So in the EU, Darth Vader had Kenobi's lightsaber and looked back at it as a trophy and a reminder of his defeat. to not fail again, if you will, and now Kylo Ren is the parallel of all of that, where he is literally holding Kenobi's lightsaber, which is said to be the very weapon that destroyed and defeated his own grandfather, and uses that as a way, as a reminder to not be defeated by Rey. And I think that's a very, good move by Disney and Lucasfilm in order to really bring the fans, to really understand exactly what the EU had to offer. And also, what this movie has to offer as far as Legends material goes, and how that's really going to be used in the canon material. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.